I want to make the most of my life. And I think everyone on this planet wants to make the most of their life. And you don't feel like you're not doing it until enough time passes where you feel like you haven't used it as effectively as you might have wanted to. And that's kind of how that's kind of how it is for me right now. I'm 17 years old right now, and a week I turn 18. On July 14th. At this time of making the video, it is July 7th. Um, and I just watched a movie. It was really good, and it feels like if I'm not doing a million things every single fucking day, if I'm not like constantly proactive and just fucking on it, there's so many things that I'm interested in, right? Um, and just in like the when I'm talking to people, just like it feels like my mind is like scattered in a million different places at once. I feel like that's kind of how everyone feels. I want to watch more movies. I want to, on top of watching more movies, I want to express to other people how much I enjoy these movies and recommend them cool movies. And on top of just movies and film, I also want to write. I love reading and I want to read more and I want to tell other people about the interesting things I do read and I want to take notes on the things that I read. Beyond that, I want to be physically fit. I want to be stronger. I want to gain more weight so I have like a physical presence around me, you know. I want to get good at video games. I want to be better at League of Legends. I want to have a cooler room. I want to make good music. I want to listen to more music. I want to finally learn how to play an instrument. I have a fucking guitar in my room that's been collecting dust for past century. Every single time like someone comes over, they show me the fuck up. You know, they tune my guitar for me, and I just like sit there like and every single time they do this, I think, what the fuck am I doing with my life? You know, because they come in my room, right? And they play on my guitar, the one that I couldn't fucking figure out for fucking years, right? I had that guitar since last Christmas, right? And it sits in my room, and I sit down for like 10 minutes. I look up how to play Wonderwall on YouTube, and I just don't play. I don't play it. I don't play it, and I never commit enough time to playing it. It's the worst thing ever. It's the worst thing ever. Ugh. I uninstalled TikTok and uninstalled Instagram. Because it seems that whenever I do delete them, I finally start doing other shit, like watching this movie. The last 10 years, if you know that I've succeeded in my life, it's when I'm gonna finally make that video essay on how much I enjoy these movies. I have a notes app, right, of my movies are like kind of like the most amazing thing ever right now. Before Sunrise is at my one, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is at my two, The Last 10 Years is at my three, In a Mood for Love is at my four, and The End of Evangelion is at my five. I'm pretty proud of that top five. But yeah, anyways, so why does movie stick out to me? The reason why this movie sticked out to me is because it's about terminal illness. Well, okay, it's about terminal illness, right? Um, the main character, this woman named Matsuri, she is terminally ill, and she has you guessed it, 10 years when she figures out like about 10 years to live, and throughout the process of her living these next 10 years, she starts video recording things. She starts she's and at some point she starts writing for this company so she can like finally have a job, and then there's this other guy, I forgot his fucking name, but it doesn't even matter. Um, that is suicidal before he meets her. And, through the process of like, oh, you're terminally ill and, you have this craving, this like, lust for life that I'm lacking, it makes him appreciate it and see life in a different light. And when I was watching this, it kind of made me see life in a different way. Not that I was suicidal, I was just really sad. But, yeah, like, that I, there's so much, even with my like constant agony of wanting to do more, I'll never trade in the experience I've had experience in life for anything. I wouldn't trade it in. I would trade it in for something better. But I know how good I have it, basically. Right? I have a pretty great life. Um and I need to do something with it, right, really badly. Um anyways though, so and there's just so many like scenes and it's so emotional because she's terminally ill, right? So you can guess how the movie ends. It ends with her passing away and him still living. And obviously, terminal illness is probably like the number one reason why I'm not religious. Um, Seeing her kind of flail about and just break down crying because she doesn't want to die, right? No one wants to die, right? Maybe there's like a severe lapse in judgment, at times where it's like life doesn't feel like it's worth it, right? But even those people don't want to be in the position where they feel like dying is the only answer, right? They don't want to that. They just feel like they need to do that, right? And in her situation, being terminally ill, there's there's this dream sequence, and it's the last thing she sees before she dies, where she marries this guy, and they have kids, and they run get together in the ocean and stuff like that. They go on beach trips. They go to the tallest peak in their city in their city of Tokyo, and they look out, and they just see all the people under them, and you see all these dream sequences, and the next scene it's just her flatlining, and she's dead, and that the whole entire everything that's been leading up to that moment, you saw it coming from a mile away, and there's nothing that you, the audience, could have done about it, and there's nothing that she could have done about it. She just dies, and she doesn't die, being proud of everything that's going on in her life, with this like, sick like, like actually, I've done everything I want to do in my life. No, she dies sad. She dies pathetically. She dies with so much turmoil in her heart, and so much rage and so much anger that she wishes that she could just live a couple other years and live a normal life, but she can't. And it's horrible. It's horrific, and it's so moving. It's so moving seeing her, look at older videos of her and what could have been her husband, and it's an amazing movie. The last 10 years, you should watch it. But anyways, how is this relevant to me? All right. Now let's make this about me. Yeah. It made me realize that I'm not squandering my youth, right? I know that in at least some ways I'm ahead of the bell curve. There's some 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds, I'll just say 18-year-olds that are fucking losers, right? And they have no clue what they want to do. At least I'm going to college with somewhat of a plan, somewhat of, cohesion going on in my life. It's just that God, I know I could do so much more. I know for a fucking fact that I can do so much more. I could be so much, right? I could create so much. I can just be this infinitely more deeper, complex person. And it feels like I'm choosing not to. And I'm just feeling, I'm just laying in the bottom of the ocean, like, letting the water just crash down on me when I could just swim up. Um, so yeah. And, I see part of it's seeing other people, do awesome things at my age that makes me want to, stand up on my 10 toes and, do something. So I'm going to do something. Thank you for watching this, if you did. Yeah.